originally wanted to shoot a video on a different topic, but this morning I wanted to talk about something else, and that's what I'm going to go with. My videos are truly led by what I feel inspired to discuss at any given time, and if you've been watching my videos, you know that they're totally unscripted. I truly just sort of go with the flow in the moment. If you are a new viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your support. Welcome, and everyone's support just means so much to me, brings a smile to my face every day, and I'm so appreciative, so thank you. So what I wanted to talk about today is about getting clear. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know I talk an awful lot about feelings. How to feel your feelings, moving through the feelings, letting them come up without suppressing them. How our feelings indicate what our boundaries are, all sorts of stuff about feelings, right? But today I want to actually take a different slant, and I want to talk about discernment and clarity when it comes to dealing with our feelings. So when a contentious or difficult or challenging situation comes into our lives, this is where we can call upon this superpower, or we can cultivate this superpower of being able to step outside of our feelings to move through a difficult situation. Sometimes our clarity in dealing with issues like this, challenging issues, comes from years sometimes of not being clear, of letting situations blow us around or giving into things or playing into that conflict because we don't know any better. And it's only from lots of repetition that we learn that we need to take a different approach. That old way wasn't working. So, for example, I made a video recently about getting laid off from your job, losing your job. If, for example, you get an email or your boss calls you into the office and tells you that they're letting you go, of course you're going to have an emotional response. Of course you're going to have feelings come up. So I gave an example in that video of one time when I got laid off and I got an email. And I remember looking at that email and I thought, how do I want to respond to this? I could write a mean and nasty response back, hit send. Or I could write something very professional, thank you for the opportunity, blah, 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 and something very, expected like that, something professional, send it off. I could not respond at all. So in that situation, what could I do? What would be the right thing to do? Well, what I did in that situation was I chose to wait a couple of days until my emotions came down a bit. And then I eventually responded with a very simple, professional response. Yes, I received your email and I understand that my last day is this day. That was it. So what I did in that situation was I chose to take something highly emotionally charged and leave my emotions out of it to them. Now, of course, I went to somebody else to vent my feelings. So we still need to let the feelings come up, process them, move through them, and not suppress them, but make sure that you channel it or you let it out to the appropriate person in the appropriate place. Would it be good for me to go to that boss and just chew her out and just say all sorts of mean things? I'm gonna let you make that decision based on your situation. But for me, in that situation, it would not have been the place. It would not have been warranted. It wouldn't help anything. All that was needed was a simple acknowledgement that I got her email and I understood what was coming and the day that I was going to be done. That was it. So you can apply that to other situations, whether it's something, with relationships, with work, or whatever, or in business. What is going on where you can change your response, remove your emotions, and let them out in a place that would be better, safer, more productive. In some situations, letting our feelings go rush out like a fire hose is not going to help. And in fact, it may feed it. So let's say you have someone in your life who really knows how to manipulate you and really just gets to you. And your response has always been to react back, and you engage with them and you have a big reaction and then they have a big reaction and then there's this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. and it just snowballs into this big drama. So what you got to do is, once you see that that's happening, once you have that clarity of looking at these different, the role you're playing and the role that person is playing, you look at it objectively, and then you say, oh, okay, so this is how they are, this is how they've always been, they're probably not going to change. And now that that's coming into your experience, how do you respond? A good way to respond might be to, again, just like with my example with that job, is to take your emotions out of it and respond factually, respond logically. Do not put your opinion, your reaction, your feelings, what you thought. Put something very logical in its place. Then you can go to someone you trust, someone you're close to, where it's safe to do so, and let all that venting out, let those feelings out, get it all out, talk it out, yell it out, whatever you need. Throw a bunch of cuss words and F-bombs if you need. But and if you were to do that to that person, it's only going to fuel it and make it worse. So use your discernment, use that objectivity. And when you stand in that place of seeing the situation for what it is and choosing not to get like into the river, into that current of emotion and into that emotional battle, well, you said this and I said this and that's what you said, he said, she said, or whatever it is. That is like this, you're standing in this source of power that you have. You're standing in your strength. And not that the situation is easy, because it's still not, but you'll be grounded and calmer, confident, because you're in your power. And it's a fantastic thing to cultivate and to be able to stand in. So that's just a little bit about clarity, getting perspective, and using your emotions effectively and elegantly. We all have emotions, and like I said, I encourage you, let yourself feel. We live in an emotional dark age where it's not okay, it's not acceptable to express emotions, or at least not certain emotions, some more acceptable than others. Let yourself feel. Just do it in a way that keeps you in your power and move through the situations. Okay, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for joining me along this journey. It's a pleasure to have you with me. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll talk to you soon.